السلام عليكم دكتورة فضيلة. السلام عليكم دكتورة فضيلة. السلام عليكم.
لسه بتشبك دكتور.
لسه بتشبك. اوكي. صحيح مظبوط. انا مع قليل الخبرة انا اسراء. انت
لا بالعكس.
لا طلعت فعليا قاعد بتشبك. السلام عليكم دكتورة.
مالك دكتور؟ شو اخبارك؟
الله يسعدك ويبارك فيكي. مشتاقين لك والله. كيفك انت؟
الحمد لله. شلونكم انتم؟ زينين؟ اهلك شلونهم كلهم؟
والله الحمد لله كله تمام الحمد لله. الحمد
شلون
لله.
نفسية زوجتك شلونها؟
والله الحمد لله ماشي
الله
الحال.
يعين.
الحمد
الله يعينها. الله يصبرها ان شاء الله.
الله يبارك فيكي. ما تشوفي شر يا دكتورة ان شاء الله.
الله يحفظك ان شاء الله.
تسلمي تسلمي. صباح الخير دكتور خليل. دكتور عمري سامعنا ولا لسه دكتور عمري؟
سامع الآن. شكرا.
بيرفكت.
دكتور عمري شلونك؟
يا هلا يا هلا الأخت فضيلة، شو أخبارك؟
اخبارك؟ نسأل عنك والله مشتاقين.
صار زمان. الحمد
إيه.
لله. دائما كيفكم؟ إن
انت
شاء الله
والله
بخير.
انت منور دائما.
الله يعطيكم الخير. الله يعطيكم الخير.
صباح الخير دكتور خليل.
صباح الخيرات يا هلا، كيف الحال؟
خليل
يا
صباح
صباح
الخير.
الخير.
صباح
الله
الورد يا
يبارك.
هلا بيكم، كيف اموركم؟
الله يبارك فيك. صباح
الله
الخير
يسعدك.
دكتور ناصر. دكتور ناصر صباح الخير.
دكتور العمري كيفك، شو اخبارك؟
تمام الحمد لله. I'm
حياك
always
الله.
good.
يلا ان شاء الله دائما يا رب.
بسم الله.
دكتور أحمد كيف الوضع الأمطار في المغرب؟
Well, we just had significant rains last week,
ما شاء
which
الله.
is already a delay in planting of almost 15 days.
أوكي.
So
Okay.
let's hope that now the farmers will be speeding the planting and hope for more rains. But it seems like at least for the most the high rainfall area, we have got enough rain to start the season.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. والله here we are suffering. There is a very big delay in the rain. We got only one incident, and nowadays we are just like spring. It's almost spring or summer even.
Wow.
Yes, it's really bad. The dams are vanishing, and we hope, inshallah, that we will receive rain. But it's really, it will be disastrous for this year to be an echo of the previous year, similar to the previous year.
Wow. Well, let's hope that things will change. At least to get enough water for drinking.
Yes, inshallah, wallah, inshallah.
Otherwise, I think we are also the same situation. Is the dams are less than 35% in terms of capacity, which is really the lowest over all the years. So I think
Okay.
let's hope that we are having a big problem of recurrent droughts.
Yes, yes. السلام عليكم دكتور سليم.
وعليكم السلام Dr. Khalid, Dr. Ahmed. Last time After a long time, I'm seeing you.
الله يبارك فيك.
Dr. Khalil.
عند دكتور ناصر، السلام عليكم، صباح الخير.
عليكم السلام، صباح النور. اهلا دكتور، يا هلا.
ان شاء الله تكونوا بخير يا رب.
الحمد لله الحمد لله.
دكتور حسن، I would like to first pass my sincere apologies from the sincere apologies of Dr. Rida and Dr. Adel. Dr. Adel told us recently that he got a power cut now for this day particularly, so he will not be able to attend. And Dr. Rida also earlier had already told me that he will be having like a meeting or something that he couldn't attend. So hopefully I will try to moderate as much as I can the inputs of your respectful inputs.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. أهلا دكتور خلدون. السلام عليكم.
So we can start دكتور خالد.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. أهلا دكتور خالد والجميع، أهلا وسهلا.
أهلا بكم جميعا. So we will start from where we ended by the last meeting, and hopefully I will try to cover the items need to be covered. First and foremost, you remember that myself and Dr. Khalil submitted a draft, and Dr. Khalil kindly AARINENA are telling me Dr. Ali Lawati will be having a delay too. So we were working on the collection form to develop a collection form of animal genetic resources, and we submitted a draft, and Dr. Khalil has added his professional input, and inshallah we will be circulating this. Dr. Khalil, if you possible could share the last version with your last additions to Isra, the AARINENA, so she shares this with all colleagues.
Okay.
We were wondering whether to add a separate sheet or to merge or separate the animal genetic resources like cattle and sheep with fisheries, or to have them together in an integrated form. This is something to be dealt with to reach a compromise in this regard, and inshallah, and we are hopeful that دكتورة فضيلة will have someone. دكتورة فضيلة بدك تحكي أنت؟
Yes.
تفضلي دكتور.
Thank you, Dr. Khalid, to give me the floor to talk. I read what Dr. Khalil prepared, and I would like to thank him for his effort. I mean, to do this preparation, which is it's not easy preparation. I have some comments. Maybe we can discuss it now. And for Kuwait now, as Kuwait has just for the animal side, we have just fishery, and we have Dr. Abd Muhsin. He is the manager of the fishery side. Inshallah, he will be with us next time. He is busy today. He is now preparing a questionnaire like what Dr. Khalil did. And inshallah, either, it depends on what the committee will suggest, either to leave it, separate, or to combine it together. To find some, something that is, collect the information. It will be for fishery and for animal, I mean sheep and other things, and to be one. It depends on now what we will circulate to you from Kuwaiti side, I mean for the fishery. I have some comment also, if you allow me, for the Dr. Khalil.
Go ahead.
Before he circulated, maybe he can bear with me, in some comments. For Dr. Khalil, if he put, number for each section, because when you read the questionnaire, you just, you don't know which one is related to which one, So just number each one, like this is number 1, number 2, number 3.
Yeah.
Dr. Khalil, maybe this is suggestion, it's not
No. It's okay.
Something to follow, you have to explain to me. This is one thing. Because it is not numbered, so it's too difficult to get this one. There is something called here in the first page, the main production system, display and strain and so on. Just I have one question. This is for getting food. Are they will be under production? It is now early to talk about protection. This is one thing. Do you want to explain to me then, or to get them all together?
Okay, I can. If Dr. Khalid allow me, I will.
Yeah,
respond immediately.
You are the leader here.
Thank you, Dr. Khalid. Can I start? Okay.
Yeah,
Dr. Fadila, many thanks for your comments. Actually, the numbering or the sections, as I mentioned previously, the final format of this questionnaire will be for sure. It should be actually numbering and put it in certain sections in order to be able to organize the collection of the data. For sure, it will be like this.
Shall I wait until you give me the final one, then I give comment, or shall I?
Okay, the second one directly, I will give you the answer for the production system. You know that if we are dealing with livestock species or species, as I told you, that we do need to understand the production system that those animals live under. Maybe they do need to high temperature, low temperature, high humidity, low humidity, high rainfall, the pasture, the other things. So we do need to understand the production system, whether they are they reared under extensive system, they live in pastoral, nomadic, and the other thing. This is what I meant by the production system, not the other things. So this is the main thing or the purpose behind this question.
Okay. Then the other, now if we go to down, I respect the country, but can we remove Jordan Valley from down, because this will be general for all the country.
Okay.
I know it is maybe just you put it because you want to give an example, but
no. You know that Jordan Valley, it has a specific characteristics or specific thing, because Jordan Valley is an area below the sea level of about 400, more than 400 meters below sea level. So it's good to compare the below sea level species with the other that live above the sea level. You know that. This is the main thing, because maybe Jordan Valley has a specific climate is rather than different than those in the other countries. This is why the purpose of adding the Jordan Valley, we do need to compare the species or the production level of the productivity of the animals, the main characteristics of the farm animals that live above sea level with those below sea level. Maybe we found something different from those things. I think and it is up to you. If you agree, all of you agree to remove it, I will do it.
This is for all the AARINENA country. So we cannot just compare with one country what they have. So we write it in general. Then when you want to give the questionnaire to the people from Jordan, you can write it, for Jordanian people.
Okay.
But if you write something, because I will take it also for my country, and other will take it like Oman, so we will not put name of the country or area in one country.
Okay, completely with you. Yes, you can do it.
Okay. Then we have, I have also a quality of meat. or other production to be optimized, itemized. يمكن, I don't know.
No.
Here we add here some also character, like if we should write about the toxicity of this the toxicity to the human and allergicity and none, because you don't know the product, not just from the animal side, also from fish side. Maybe this is cause some of them are toxic, some of them cause allergy. Every country which will collect, they know from the old people that they use it before, maybe it is called allergy or it is maybe toxic for that. So we should, I mean, if we add these things to show just this product, maybe it has this character, so we can be away from it. This is one.
Just let me just comment on this thing, because you know that when I prepared this questionnaire, I was trying to share a common thing between all the countries. And if you return back to the references that dealing with the meat quality and meat quantity, you will rarely find something you are talking about the toxicity and the other things. So maybe we can find it in Kuwait, for example, as your case. But here in Jordan, we barely find something like this.
Yeah, but
so it's not common.
You are not talking, yeah, you should forget that you are talking about Jordan. You talk about all the country.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this is a common thing between all the countries, yes. Because you rarely find something dealt with the toxicity of the meat or the other things or the other species. But so maybe you will get nothing from it.
Yes, okay.
As answers,
Yes, we can put it, and if it is nothing, they will say none. We can put it in the questionnaire. And I don't know, I'm just, now how we have all the friends here, they can comment on what I comment. It is just a suggestion. Al-Amri and maybe Khalid and Khaldun.
طيب دكتورة, just for sake of declaration of clarification, when you say toxicity, do you mean the toxicity that comes because of the production system of the fisheries, for example, and if they were reared under high antibiotics and given maybe mercury products and these kind of things,
or
residuals. So it's not meant to be the meat itself, but the residuals that is a result of the production system. Is it like that, or?
Dr. Khalid, let us say this is general one. If we consider like for fish or for plant or for some of these, it is from their original, it is causes toxic, or it is cause allergy, or so what if we add it? If it is there, it will be there. If it is not there, so it will be not there. But this is, I found it should be added. But I mean,
I want just to give you an idea about this thing. Maybe if we are talking about something simple to this thing, maybe if we are talking about the milk, for example, the human bodies in certain populations, they have what we call lactose intolerance. And this lactose intolerance is allergic thing. You know that it is not a defect from the milk. It is not a cause from the milk itself. There is some deficiencies in human bodies in certain population that cause this allergy. So it is not the milk itself or even the meat itself. So we don't want to merge the things with each other. As I told you, if we return back to the references and we go back to for example, the meat and the other product, milk product or livestock product, it is rarely found something like this. And now I think all the countries start dealing with the residuals that found in the meat or the milk regarding the antibiotics and the other things. So it is something related to the antibiotic and the exotic things that came to the animal, not from the animal itself. So we can add it as if you want. If you want, okay, it can be added. But as I told you, you will get nothing. Or some countries will answer this question and do some information, very poor information that will be found all around all countries, in the NENA countries. So it's up to you. Okay, we can add it.
Okay, and also, in the after that, under color, in the section of slaughter, live weight, and these things, there is, I mean, at the end there is color. Can we add just the nutritional content, the content of fat and carbohydrates and protein, which is in the meat?
Yeah, can be.
Okay. Yeah. The last thing that in the last one, which is any traditional knowledge, we can make this general, as we can say, traditional knowledge about benefit, disease management, and animal rearing. You know, we can write it 1, 2, 3. Yani we can remove the knowledge about wound and injury healing. I don't know. I didn't understand it. If you explain it to me, maybe we can leave it.
Yeah. You know, it maybe it fall into under the thing that you you talk about the disease treatment. You know that the healing of injury. Some Bedouins or some livestock owners start to deal with some medicinal herbs to treat their animals, the injury, the you know that, and they succeed in healing all the things. So they may have gained some traditional knowledge, and we do need to understand this traditional knowledge.
Disease management, yeah.
Yeah, disease management, yes.
You write it in general, disease management.
Yeah, generally, yes, yes.
Thank you. I will leave the other comments until you put, I mean, the final. And I'm very sorry to talk about, I mean, this one now, because we don't have the final. So inshallah, in the final, it will be,
yeah, thank you.
مرضية للجميع إن شاء الله.
All comments that you raised will be considered, don't worry.
سامحنا
Okay.
دكتور حمدون.
Thank you very much. Actually, it's very nice.
شكرا دكتورة فضيلة. شكرا على thank you for the comments you have just added. We are pleased to welcome also our new colleagues who have just attended. دكتورة ماريانا يزبك من لبنان, from Lebanon. دكتورة سوسن حسان from إيكاردا. دكتورة حرية and دكتور علي and دكتور أبيديمي طلابي. دكتور طلابي, أهلا وسهلا فيكم جميعا. You are most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. Thanks a lot.
Dr. Muhammad Al-Ajwani is also with us, is it right?
دكتور محمد العجلاني بس سكر دكتور محمد العجلاني is connected. Okay.
Yeah, he's connected right now.
So أهلا وسهلا دكتور محمد. You are most welcome.
هلا بالزباين.
هلا بيك. طيب
بعدين اليوم وين احمد عمري معانا؟ كانه دكتور احمد عمري.
دكتور احمد is there still he's with us.
انا معاك يا دكتور. شو يا ابو مروان؟
مساء الخير، صباح الخير. والله الواحد
صباح الخير. صباح الخير. اهلين.
Welcome everybody, you know.
You are most welcome.
أنا آسف عندي مشكلة في الكاميرا ولا أنا I like to
it's our bad luck not to see your
بس هاي خلص ما قرأت يعني البول تبعي والدكتور أحمد زي بعض فما في مشكلة. كأنكم تطلع علي أو علي نفس الشيء.
دكتور أنت منور بدون كاميرا.
الله يسعدك وينور أيامك إن شاء الله.
دكتورة فضيلة, thank you.
Can I ask just one question? Because it seems like you have gone to another direction within the proposal, because I've seen the proposal in the beginning and now it is reshaped to cover other areas. I'm sorry for not following up
Dr. Amri, let me
closely. If someone just can just summarize the process so we can know it has to be well justified.
Yes, Dr. Amri, what has been stated in the Global Manifesto as termed the NAS, neglected, underutilized foods, species or foods. And here we mean the end product. So some of our colleagues, especially in the Gulf countries, they raised the point that the staple food of those countries, they are not plants, but rather animal genetic resources. So animal genetic resources, especially fisheries, in some of those Gulf states, forms the main staple food on which the history of the humans who lived, the inhabitants who who lived there, they depended on. So they raised the point of adding animal genetic resources as part of our AARINENA, neglected, underutilized species. And this proposition has been raised by Dr. Fadila at the first, and all of us welcomed her proposition because it sounds logic. So from that point, we invited some specialists from animal genetic resources, like Dr. Khalil, and still we are waiting for nominations. Dr. Fadila has just mentioned some scientists from her side, and inshallah, Dr. Salim and Dr. Ali, inshallah, they will be also nominating some specialists of animal genetic resources in order to contribute and to add. And we were still trying to reach a compromise regarding the animal genetic resources and fisheries, because they are all animal genetic resources, but fisheries could have certain specialities to be dealt with, whether to separate the farm or to merge it all together. And so this is what has been discussed between Dr. Fadila and Dr. Khalil. Dr. Khalil from Jordan, from the University of Science and Technology. Yes, Science and Technology. He is a very esteemed specialist in animal genetic resources, who was kindly who kindly accepted the invitation, and he is now contributing to this effort. So this is the brief about what's happening regarding the animal genetic resources.
Thank you. Very
You are
clear.
most welcome. دكتورة مريانا تفضلي. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. صباح الخير.
Good morning دكتورة مريانا.
صباح الخير يا مريانا، الدنيا المساء.
صباح الخير يا دكتور عجلوني.
الله يخليكي.
Sorry, I'm speaking English because my understanding is that we have
no, I think it is English.
We should speak in English because we got
we have non-Arabs with us.
So. Not Arabs, yes.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to follow up on Amri's comment because yes, my understanding is that the Forgotten Food Network or concept note should be focusing on plant species, and the part related to animals is probably the forage and range species, not animal genetic resources. So this is something that has to be cleared with the network stakeholders, so that we are working on the same wavelength with everybody else. Before more time is invested, more time and efforts are invested in this. This is, if you're talking about surveys and experts, and so it's going to take more time. This is one comment. The other also question that I have, I also apologize for joining the network lately. I missed a few meetings in the beginnings. But do we have a clear understanding of what the scope of this work is? What is the end of, what's the output that is expected from this network? Is it a report? Is it a network of experts? What is the expected output? What is the scope of work for this network, for this group? We need to have, and when is the deadline? What's the time frame? So it would be good. It might be information that I am missing and you have. So I would appreciate it if you can clarify this to me, so that we can all contribute in a more efficient way. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mariana. If you allow me, I will brief you about the items or the issues of your concern. First and foremost, this call has started calling for revitalizing and reusing the neglected, underutilized species. And this was focused, as you have just stated, and as in the context of the Global Manifesto, the last version, if you read all of the context, you could find that it is really focusing on plant species. And we worked on different issues regarding the manifesto. First, it has been developed by 3 different regions. If each particular different region has submitted its concept, notes, and vision of the issue, then this has been merged together as one document, and 2 meetings so far has been held, and the manifesto concept has been shared also during the second agrobiodiversity conference in a separate session, where and also the final version of the global manifesto has been shared to have comments on from all of the stakeholders, and we did our own. And we were asked to prioritize as an AARINENA region, as part of the global manifesto, to prioritize the entry points, the priorities, the importances of certain items that are included in the concept notes. And this final version and our concept, it can be shared to all by AARINENA and by the Secretariat of the AARINENA, if you all willing to. As I said later to Dr. Al-Amri, the addition of the animal genetic resources was a proposition by some colleagues from the Arab countries, especially the Gulf state countries, whose history has evolved over the time with the animal genetic resources as stable food, like berries. Because, you know, Dr. Adel, who is the head of the AARINENA, is in contact with the Global Manifesto, and he got all of the feedback from them. Apparently, he consulted them regarding adding the animal genetic resources to form. He agreed upon adding such genetic resources because this is a speciality of the AARINENA, and actually a large percentage of the countries of AARINENA raised this. Regarding the ultimate goal now, what we are aiming at is to reach final entry points and concept notes to be adopted by FIFAR, adopted to be advertised for eligibility to fund, to be offered on fundraising agencies on the global level. And the next stage after this, I'm not really aware of, and I don't think it's so far clear, but the ultimate goal is to have projects funded. On which level those projects are funded, it's not so far clear. On the regional level, or maybe on certain countries level, or on country level, it's not clear. But ultimately, this endeavor should be ended with funded projects to be implemented on the ground. We are asked, in addition to the preparation of the concept of our region, to prepare an inventory spreadsheet in which fields of data are clear, to be adopted by our region, and this applies to all regions, to the 3 regions. Also, we have prepared, myself, I prepared a draft, and Dr. Ali already prepared a draft, and we hope all of the countries also to participate in adding fields. The other part was preparation of collection form of collection of the traditional knowledge and different data of those species. And we already agreed upon a form to be implemented for collection of data in the field of plant genetic resources or plant forgotten species. Then after the proposition of addition of animal genetic resources, we are now, as you have just seen, negotiating to reach a compromise to an animal collection fund. I'm not sure if I've forgotten anything. I think this is all, Dr. Mariana.
Thank you so much for this.
Most welcome.
Khaled. Just to reiterate so that I can make sure I understood well. The concept note for the forgotten food network has already been contributed to. It's on its way. Khalas, it's almost done. That track, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's keep that. The objectives for this one is to develop a proposal that, to get some funding to work on some aspect, and this is the context of the animal genetic resources. We're hoping that this would be one of the themes that we can develop a proposal for.
Yes, regarding the animal genetic resources, it has been recently added to our concept.
It's fine. I have nothing against animal genetic resources.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to understand so that we can develop. Yeah. No, my idea is that we want to increase our likelihood of getting your funding. So we do not want to put more time on some theme that we know it might not be prioritized. This is my idea, is that before going deeper into the animal genetic resources, it would be good to check with, whoever the regional network, just to get an idea, is this likely to get funded or not? This is not undermining the importance of animal genetic resources. Actually, I'm very happy to start getting emails from AARINENA again. It's lively, and this is very nice. I'm happy about that, and I know that it's a network that we can do so many things through, and one of those can be the animal genetic resources. I'm just trying to point that we should be able to kind of focus on what aspect we should invest the time on to develop a proposal that's more likely to be funded. I'm interested, and if it's not a problem, to get the inventory forms that have been developed to get information collected on the underutilized species, the plant genetic resources. So if you can share those, it would be very nice. And I think this is something that needs to be more focused on. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mariana. I'll make sure that all of the documents will be reaching you soon. I will coordinate this with Isra from the AARINENA Secretariat. And here I would like to tell you that from the definition of the neglected underutilized species, it defines the wild, semi-domesticated and domesticated species of plants. Here I'm talking about. So those are all included. So this includes the wild edible species, part of the wild flora that I know that they are one of your passion on the personal level. And also the wild, domesticated species that used to be cultivated in our area. And also this will be, I think, in my opinion, this will be more problematic because regarding the wild edible species, we collected already information from the literature, but regarding the cultivated, old cultivated species, I'm really struggling finding information about those species, and I am sure we will be in the future struggling finding the accessions to be working on, because some or many of those land races or even the species themselves, they are not on the floor. Like I say, for example, what used to be cultivated in the old fertile crescent was the various kinds of millets, also the emmer wheats, those of the old-fashioned grown
sorghum bicolor.
Sorghum is part of the millets. Those species, they are not there anymore. So those, I think, those will be problematic. Of course, I'm undermining the issue and how hard it will be also to collect some of the wild species, because some of them are really threatened. But I think the literature doesn't cover a lot as per the already cultivated historical species or the neglected species. From the definition of the neglected, underutilized species, some of those species, they could be neglected on the research level, neglected on the commercial level, but they are still there in the farmers' fields, in the remote areas. Those our mission is to find out and to revitalize using them.
Dr. Khalid,
Yes.
could you please read the comments of Dr. Ali Lawati and Dr. Salim in the chat corner, in which they say that Oman
Yes.
is not looking for animal genetic resources.
I have just seen that. I was about to comment on this. We were asking Dr. Ali also.
Yeah, could you please ask for clarification for that?
Yes. Dr. Ali, could you please clarify what you have just in the chat? We were hoping that Dr. Ali will nominate someone from the animal genetic resources, but apparently it's not the case.
We will do that, Dr. Khalid. We will do that, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Khalid, and all of you. In fact, when we started this scope with AARINENA, and then as well as which is initiated with the FAO and GFAR, the scope was on plant species and neglected plant species, and of course, as mentioned by Dr. Mariana and all of the discussion that have been before, importance of the animal genetic resources, fisheries for our food system. But I think if you see the documents from the beginning, if you see the mother document, it's never talking about the animal genetic resources, never talking about fisheries. Might be this could be the scope of this could be in the other project. So that's why I thought that focusing on plants is much better than separating to the animal and fisheries. Though it is very important to have this animal and fisheries in the near future. But however, from my side and Dr. Salim, we are going, of course, to nominate experts from our side on animal genetic resources as well. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Dr. Sameh, you are most welcome. I might have not seen you. Dr. Sameh from the West Bank, Palestine.
So, Dr. Khalid, maybe we need to more clarification regarding the inclusion of the animal genetic resources within this project, because if you want to proceed or to stop at this stage, that
yes. Honestly,
we need a decision right now. If you agree with me,
yes. The decision has been taken earlier by Dr. Adel, because I'm not in a place to take a decision here, because I'm not representing AARINENA, honestly, but I'm taking over because Dr. Adel and Dr. Rida are in charge in something else. Along as I remember, Dr. Adel, who is in touch always with AARINENA, with the manifesto, the global manifesto, he has given the green light for this. Dr. Ajlani is raising his hand. Just excuse me, Dr. Ajlani, just to answer. So he has given us the green light toward adding the animal genetic resources, and he found this a need, an essential need for our region. And he said there will be no conflict for a region to has its own speciality in its own concept. So this is from Dr. Adel. Honestly, myself in the beginning, as the understanding of all, and in the context of the global manifesto, they focus on plants, and this is really understood. But as I said to you, Dr. Adel gave the green light. So if you allow me, I will give the floor to Dr. Ajlani, please. Dr. Ajlani.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You are most welcome, Doctor.
First of all, Khalid, we have to differentiate between two things: the global concept note and the regional things. From my understanding, I understand that the global manifesto, which is reflected at the end on a concept note for a project, should concentrate on plant genetic resources or forgetting food from plants. Now, concerning the activities at the region, which is AARINENA, this is, I think, something else. That's why you start talking about the animal and the fishery. So we have to be very clear in this issue, in order to, as Mariana said, to see what is the end point for our discussions and our work. So it has to be very clear. You have to send to Dr. Adel to explain for us by email what's going on. You see, so we have to be very clear, because what I understand, that this is a regional issue, which is including the plant genetic, animal and fisheries. Now, the global project is something else, only talking about plants. Is this true, or Dr. Adel has, mentioned that in his global meetings, and he wants us to include the animal and fisheries in the global activities? It has to be clear. Thank you.
Doctor, what is meant to be is only for the regional. The animal is only for the regional. Okay. This is what what has been proposed in the beginning, and Dr. Adel agreed upon. This is it. The global is another issue. This is now the regional will be submitted to be part of the global at the end of the day. At the end, all of it will be merged as a global manifesto to be offered to the donors, and our addition as plant animal genetic resources will be part of this. Dr. Mariana, تفضلي, please.
Sorry, I don't want to be taking everybody else's turn.
No, don't worry. Go ahead.
You are welcome.
Take an opportunity. I'm with you after such a long time. I totally agree with Dr. Ajlani's proposal, is that there are two things here. There's AARINENA, who's a network that is active in this region and should remain to be active, and actually even more revitalized and activated. And AARINENA has several activities. One of them is the global forgotten food concept note or network thing. The other thing is its work on animal genetic resources, etc., etc. So I do not think that we should be stopping or pausing work on the animal genetic resources, but I think we should be looking at to partner with other collaborators or projects or even initiatives that we might have more likelihood getting funded from them because they actually focus on animal genetic resources. And to maintain working on a line of work and proposal development related to the forgotten food, focusing on plant genetic resources. I think this is, this is my suggestion.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Sorry,
Mariana.
just to add one thing is that, especially that I think it would be safe to say that researchers and that are working on animal genetic resources are different from those that are working on plant genetic resources. So it wouldn't be putting a person in, under a lot of work. It's two groups, two specialties groups, if you want, that are working on different things under the umbrella of AARINENA.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Mariana. Thank you. I cannot deny that there will be a struggle or an issue of having both collection farms going side by side, and there is even an issue of merging or separating the animal genetic resources. Of course, I'm not a specialist in animal genetic resources, but I'm looking at this from far place and see how difficult would it be. But I can't put myself in the place of specialists of animal genetic resources who could decide as per this issue. Dr. Talabi, please. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, and thank you everyone for your contributions. Yeah, I also had some struggle trying to marry the two, the animal genetic resources with those of the plants that we've been talking of for quite some time now. But I appreciate the contribution of everyone. But what I just wanted to ask, for example, in my institute, we don't have animal experts, so to say, though, of course, we engage in some integrated farming activities that would involve the fisheries, like aquaponics, so to say, and some other stuff like that. I just want to ask, what role can we really play as based on the region? Like now you are talking about the regional, having the animal genetic resources included, but if it's not part of the focal point of my organization, what do I do in such a situation? And how do I really, what role can we play, so to say, if we have to participate? Thank you.
So, Dr. Talabi, I think if there is no one in whose specialty in animal genetic resources, and I well understood what you have just stated, there will be your contribution in the plant genetic resources is fair enough, and we could count on the countries who has specialities or who has scientists who are interested in animal genetic resources to nominate and to find the way or the entry points to. Honestly, this is, as I reiterate again, I'm not really in a place to judge and to give a clear cut answer regarding whether to go forward or not, because I think Dr. Adel has agreed upon this in the beginning, and we were guided by his approval toward the inclusion of the animal genetic resources. We could state this as part of the resolutions of our meeting for today, and inshallah, hopefully, Dr. Adel will be will be with us in the next meeting. And we could, in the meanwhile, the specialists of animal genetic resources work on the questionnaire, and hopefully we will reach a compromise toward whether to include or not, if there is a general objection of inclusion of the animal genetic resources in our endeavor as AARINENA. The other point in the agenda, in my agenda, is also to discuss maybe the spreadsheet of the plant animal genetic resources that myself and Dr. Ali are working on, and hopefully to have the contribution of other countries, if possible, to add in their inputs, and we will be. I'm not sure, Dr. Ali, did you share your spreadsheet or not?
Excuse me. I think no, I didn't. But what I just need is just a click to send it to AARINENA secretary.
Okay, perfect. I will be sending mine also from my side. Of course, this spreadsheet from my side has depended on, I assume, Dr. Ali's the same, on the literature available, and I'm not imagining the collection fields or the headings of information in this spreadsheet will 100% represent the collection forms, because the collection forms are supposed to go also to the local inhabitants or the custodians of those genetic resources. But this spreadsheet is like a preliminary sheet to be developed, to be a scratch to work on, and to be developed in the later stages, to be a scratch to start to prioritize from also. And we will work side by side between the information collected from the field, from the local inhabitants, and from the literature to prioritize what the species to be working on. But as I understood again from Dr. Adel Abdulrahim, it is not really important at this stage the input of information inside the spreadsheet or the database of those genetic resources. But the important thing is to the headings of the columns of such database to be ready to be submitted with the concept of our region. So the headings of the database and the collection forms to be side by side with the concept notes that comes from our region. The concept notes assumed to be extracted and including all of the global manifesto concept note, so as to be part of the 3 regions concepts to be submitted to GFAR to be considered for offering on the donors. So any other comments? I'm sorry, some items, some issues I cannot. Dr. Khalil. تفضل دكتور خليل. You are muted, Dr. Khalil.
Maybe the clarification of the inclusion of the animal genetic resources into this working group discussion is not clarified yet. Is it right, Dr. Khalid?
Yes,
and,
yes.
Maybe
I think to the point that I know it has been approved by Dr. Adel. But now I can see that there is a stream of that are not with this.
Yeah. Maybe the opinion of our colleagues here is to put it in a separate maybe group, and they can discuss it later. And maybe you can inform me whether to include it or to not include, because if I want to start working in the questionnaire, I do need to have the approval Okay, you know.
Yes, sure.
I don't want to waste the time in something that will not be included, and just to let me know as soon as possible. If
yes, for sure. We will be sending all of the resolution and the minutes to Dr. Adel, and we will be having the feedback at soonest, and this will be circulated on all.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And
you are most welcome.
I have to leave right now, so excuse me, and thank you all. Bye-bye.
You are most welcome. Thank you very much for your participation.
You're welcome.
Dr. Ahmed, you are leaving too.
I will be leaving in soon because we have also another meeting. But I think good luck to you. I'm sure that whatever decision is there related to including animal or it's still valid. The most important thing, as said by my colleagues, is is when you are presenting a proposal, it has to have a solid and not dispersed thing. That's all what it is. It's just about being attractive to the funders when you include them in too many things that are different.
But one more thing, just for the discussion. If you want to identify a forgotten food, you know that, and you are focusing in a plant or forage crops or the other things, I think in my opinion you need to study all the production system surrounding the plant itself. Okay, is it right? So all the major contribution, in addition to the land and also to the plant itself, you need to understand that also the animal, the livestock contribute a lot to this plant genetic resources. Is it right? So the threatened things or the extinct species, whatever you call it, it is maybe the cause of it is partially go to the livestock, the existence of this livestock, or is it found in this area or not found in this area. So just only to give you an idea about this thing, if you want to study the whole area, the forgotten food, or maybe the lost things from the chain, the production chain, maybe due to the plant, to the animal, and also to the land. So this is the main idea, and I apologize, just and thank you all.
Dr. Khalil, your words, what you stated is very much valid.
Yeah.
Because actually the production system, even if we are talking about neglected, underutilized species, we have to go to the all systems of production, which depended on what we know بالعربي الحكورة.
خليك معنا 5 دقائق. خليك معنا 5 دقائق.
The backyard production system. So what you said is really valid, because the animal genetic resources are very much integrated with plant genetic resources in a way or another. To answer Dr. Sameh, Dr. Sameh, yes, regarding the neglected, underutilized species include also the land races. Actually, the land races are in the merit of the subject, but we have to prioritize here. Some land races are really underutilization nowadays, so they are not priority. Like, for example, I talk about فاصوليا البلدية, the local beans. It's very, very common now. So it is a land race, but we shouldn't prioritize this, because there are some others that are really neglected, totally neglected. Dr. Ajlani, please تفضل.
أنا بس حبيت وين I like to respond to the issue of the two genetic resources, which is animal and plant. We were thinking before that to have either a separate network for animal genetic resources and fishery, or to have, one network for genetic resources, but it has 2 sub-networks. So what I'm going to say now, we should concentrate it in this project on plant genetic resources, but at the same time, we have to think of a regional funding agency that can support us in a good project on animal and fishery, because as Khalil said, both are complementary, but this concept note and manifesto is concentrated on the plants. So for example, maybe Fadila and our colleagues in the Gulf can help us in order to, seek fund from the Arab fund, so that we can get a good funding, or from the Islamic Bank and so on, to complement the issue in the region. So let us concentrate on the plant genetic resources, on the manifesto and the global concept note, and thinking of another funding agency for our, animal and fishery plant genetic resources, because this is very important issue that we have to tackle. And then in this case, we can work in the whole production system, both complementary between animal and plant, and at the same time tackling the whole chain of production and food supply. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ajlani. Thank you very much for your addition.
Can I just come in, because I think just very quickly,
Doctor.
I think definitely, I think having all you can add microorganisms if you want. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's something that I mean, when we talk about agrobiodiversity, will include both animals as well as, I mean, first of all, I think please do not use landrace for animals. It's local breeds. It's much better appropriate for this. And if we are talking about what we call a survey, just a survey and a questionnaire to be filled, it does not harm to include anything you want. Even microorganisms, if you have information, please do. Okay, so it will, as long as it's just surveying and questionnaires and okay, it's good to have the status of all genetic resources that are integrated within the diversity of farming systems that we have, and this will satisfy all the diverse farming systems that are predominant in each of the regions. For example, you go to Gulf areas, you will find that, I mean, it's pastoral and livestock and so on. So I think it as long as it's something that can be handled, why not? But if it's the heart of your proposal, then it's something that you need to think about. I mean, prioritizing and having to split it into two or whatever. Right? But most important is that it depends on the scope of your proposal.
Thank you, Dr. Amri. Thank you, Dr. Amri.
Thank you, Dr. Amri.
Dr. Amri, basically the concept, the global concept, as stated before, was focusing on plants. Even if we focused on plants, at the later stages, we will have to prioritize. We will not be able to deal with all plants. We have to prioritize in order to be logic. If the animal genetic resources have been added, of course, the prioritization will be even more needed. Of course, now what is the purpose of the concept is to prioritize the entry points, the priorities as overarching bullets. Not with details, but the details of prioritization should be in the species to be included in the inventory, the species to be included from the perspective of each country. Each country will have its own list, and at the end of the day, it will be the AARINENA priority list for plants or for animals or for whatever agreed upon. Okay, so if there's no other comments, we could conclude for this day. Dr. Ajlani, are you raising your hand, or you have just left your hand raised? Thank you. So by this, if there are no comments, Dr. Fadil, تفضلي. Please, Dr. Fadila.
Thank you, Dr. Khalid. I was very happy from Dr. Amri when he said that we should include the microbes, as we have a lot of fungus in our countries that is forming food for us, like truffles. And this is, I mean, it is very, I mean, it is very high in nutritionally material. And this is not all the country they are using the truffle. And there is other fungus which can be used for producing cheese and everything, and bacteria. So this is also, I'm not saying included, but I'm just saying that Dr. Amri, what he mentioned is very important also to have it as a food for future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fadila. For me, if you ask me, I am in favor of adding, you call it faga. I know what is called in Kuwait.
You are, because half Kuwaiti you are.
Yes, half Kuwaiti. They call it faga, and it is really very high nutritious commodity. And I think collection of information regarding faga, or let's say Terfisia species or truffle, is more or less very similar to the plant, because it's a static organism, and it goes side by side with certain plant species. It goes with I don't want to elaborate here, but it goes side by side with some species of Helianthus from the Cistaceae family that grows in the desert of Arabian Peninsula. Thank you for the addition, Dr. Fadila, and I think this is remarkable to be considered, because it's really a major and nutritious food need to be worked on. If there is no comments further to what we had already, I would like to conclude here and to thank all for their grateful and kindness giving us the time to participate, and looking forward to meet you hopefully soon. I'm not sure when. We will transfer all of the comments and minutes to Dr. Adel, and hopefully we come back to you for further collaborations. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you so much.
Shukran.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Khalid.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Bye.
Have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.
For all. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
All the best to you.